When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic, to cosplay, to Schitt's Creek, to Supernatural, and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and on Friday's episode, we are continuing our music month and our celebration of grunge with a look at the band Soundgarden. Once again, as a warning to my panelists, if they haven't listened to episodes where I've said this, this is not your host's genre of choice. When I was growing up, it wasn't what I was into, but it's been interesting visiting these bands and learning more about the music and gaining a deeper appreciation for it. And this was our listeners' just choice. And I'm really, really excited that we did it because, you know, from our demographics, the majority of our listeners are Gen X and millennials, so it fits and works. And joining me for that episode and this week's Pop Culture and Fandom News is first up one of the hosts of Talking Like a Teen podcast, returning from our Tegan and Sarah episode in June, Adrian. Hi, Adrian.
Hey, Erin. How are you doing? Really happy to be back, and thank you for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate having you on, so thank you. I'm excited to have you back. And also joining me is Sarah, who is continually on almost all of our music episodes. Wasn't on Nirvana, but we'll be on the rest for you're you're on Pearl Jam. Yeah. So we'll be on the rest for this month. And usually every single music month, Sarah is always there, which is great. It's not one of our most popular music episode next to Christmas music, because there's some kind of cult out there that's just downloading this thousands of times. I don't understand it. I do not get it. Other than that, Journey is our second most popular music episode, which makes me incredibly happy.
Which is awesome.
Yes. And Sarah was on that episode. So, hi, Sarah.
Hello. Yes. Music is my first love. So, depending upon genre, I try and get on the music episodes. Nirvana, I wasn't sure if I was doing something for my birthday that weekend. So that's why I didn't sign up. But I'm here now. So, yay.
Well, I'm happy to have you here, and I'm happy to have you here too, Adrian.
Thank you.
I really love it when we add new panelists to our roster, especially, well, I would kick people off if they weren't good, but I really haven't had to do that much. So you know who you are now.
Oh, dang.
Ouch.
Shots fired.
Joking. I'm totally
I know. Now I need to know who it is.
I love this energy right now.
Well, we are going to start this episode like we do all of our pop culture and fandom news episodes by finding out what we're into, excited about, upset about, etc. So, Adrian, what is one thing in fandom or pop culture that you're excited, upset, that you're really into right now, that you enjoyed, that you watched recently?
Well, watching it recently, I'm finally getting caught up on the television portion of the MCU, or Marvel Cinematic Universe. We just finished Loki because I'm doing everything out of sequence. And my stepson and I and my fiance, we've just been really gearing up for Avengers Doomsday, which is a thing I'm very excited about because I'm a giant nerd and I don't get to talk to a lot of people about this outside of my best friend and co-host Ashley. But it was nice to be in your Discord. I was speaking with Tiff, I believe their name is, talking a little bit of MCU stuff. So I'm like, yay, I'm not the only one who isn't completely anti-Marvel right now. So it feels really good.
Tiff has recommended quite a few Marvel shows when she's been on here, which she's on here quite a bit. And I also really appreciated that conversation because that was in our DC and Marvel channel. And that was the first time it had ever been used. So I was like, oh, good. I thought I created this for like nothing. No one was ever going to use it. So I'm glad.
Don't give me a platform. I will try my best not to lore dump excessively.
No, hey, we are all nerds and geeks on this podcast and in that Discord. So that's the place to do that. So I was happy to see it being used. Like I said, I have not watched any of the MCU television shows. I am really sorry. I've watched a total of like maybe 2 or 3 things on Disney Plus. So I know I'm slacking.
Okay. We still love you.
We still love you.
Until you hear what it was I watched.
Oh no.
No, I watched the Lady and the Tramp movie from way back when.
Okay, but that movie is great though. So like that's fine.
It's okay.
And then Newsies for Christian Bale month.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't remember what the other one was, but it's probably something for podcast prep. So yeah. So Sarah, what's one thing you're excited about?
I am super excited about season 2 of The Pit. I kind of went away from medical dramas for a little while. And then this one kind of drew me in because I'm like, yay, Noah Wiley's a doctor again. I really think at this point he is a doctor. That's just, pretending to be an actor, but he's really a doctor in real life. I mean, I posted something, not to get political, but I posted something.
You can get political on this podcast. Don't worry.
But I posted something on my Facebook yesterday, that, Noah Wiley would be a better head of HHS than RFK Jr. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean.
If we're being honest about it.
Seriously. But anyway, no, I'm super excited about season 2. I really enjoyed season 1. I thought it was very well done. The way that they did it with each episode is an hour in the ER. They addressed a lot of current events. And Dr. King, Mel, who her character is just, I love her so much because she is such a great representation of neurodivergence without being like extreme. And I don't mean that as an insult, because when you see a lot of representation of neurodivergence in media, it doesn't necessarily cover. I'm not going to explain this correctly. And I don't want to say extreme again because that's not the right word.
It's stereotypes? Is that what
Yes, thank you. Stereotyped. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And it's never really addressed in the show, which I think is fantastic, that they don't make it a big deal. It's like, it's who she is and she's a great doctor. But it's not stereotyped. And I think that's the word I was looking for. So absolutely love the show. Can't wait for season 2. It's supposed to take place, I think, 10 months after season 1. So, spoilers, Langdon will be coming back. Have you all seen it? Because I don't want to spoil. Okay, never mind.
No, it's okay.
I
don't mind.
It's okay. I don't mind either. I honestly don't mind.
Spoil it. If you're going to watch it, I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I guess it takes place after Dr. Langdon comes back from rehab. And I think it's over like 4th of July. So, and from what I heard, it's supposed to drop in January. Don't have an exact date on it yet, but really excited about that one. It's one of the best medical dramas I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, and it's nominated for Emmys. The Emmys are coming up this coming Sunday.
Right.
And just to let everybody know, we're going to do, or I'm going to at least do it. If anybody wants to join me, they're welcome to, but I'm going to do a live stream on our YouTube with reactions after the Emmys are over. I am planning on doing a live stream beforehand. I don't know if it'll be on YouTube or on our Instagram or our TikTok. We can do lives there now, and I'm scared to death to do a live on TikTok. Because people are like so good at it. And I'm like, I'm just not going to, I don't know. I feel like I won't be very good at it. But I'm going to do like my predictions and my wishes and my hopes. And I promise not every wish and hope will be about the bear. So I promise I will try to limit that.
But even if it was all about the bear, I don't think anybody would begrudge that. I've heard a lot of good things. I know I'm bad with TV, hence the Marvel comment, but like I've heard so many good things. So by all means.
Yeah, the only reason I ended up catching up with the bear is because we covered it in May. So I watched everything, and that's how I became a fan. And now it's like my obsession, my TV obsession. And people get upset with it because it's not a comedy. It really isn't. And it's always nominated as a comedy.
Although the facts are pretty funny.
Yeah, but still not a comedy. So I understand that. And some people don't think season 3, which is what it's nominated for, not the current season that just came out, isn't as good as the others. So I understand that the gripes about it, but I still adore everything about it. So yeah. So stay tuned for more information about that, and make sure to follow us on YouTube. I will not be getting to the pit before the Emmys. There's just no way. I have to really cram. But I will say it's nice that there's another show that's doing it the way that regular television did it, where you don't have to wait years and years. Stranger Things.
Yeah, something popped up on my Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, that was like 3 years ago. What?
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it was renewed for its second season, because I got a memory on Facebook where I was so excited. It got renewed for like a second season, and that was back in like 2015 or 16 or something like that. I can't remember.
No way. That was like a decade ago. What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Wow, I didn't realize it was. No, that makes sense because we've been here 7 years and we were still living in Texas. So yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
When season 1 dropped. Wow.
Yeah. But what I'm into is a movie that I want to highlight because it's an independent film. It's very unique and different. And, I don't think it'll get as much traction box office wise. And that's a movie called Twinless. And it premiered at some festivals and people loved it. And I got to see it at a free screening, and I didn't know much about it. I watched the trailer, but honestly, the trailer doesn't tell you all what the movie's about. Some people think it spoils stuff that haven't watched the movie, but it really doesn't. But it's so unique, so different, and not really like anything I've seen before in a lot of respects. But the basic plot is it's about these 2 grieving men who meet in a support group for twins whose twin has died. And they meet and bond, and that's all I'm going to tell you about this movie. It's very, very funny, but very dark funny. So it's a dark comedy. I love those. So, be prepared for that. But it's really, really good. I was just shocked because, like I said, I had no expectations. It was just a free screening, and I'm like, sure, I'll go. And I didn't watch Teen Wolf because this stars Dylan O'Brien, and I don't know if either of my panelists watched Teen Wolf. I guess he played. Did either of you watch Teen Wolf? I'm guessing no, because nobody showed me.
Many moons ago, maybe season 1, one of my cousins was into it, so she swore by it. So if he wasn't in season 1, I probably don't remember who it is.
Styles is who he played. I just looked it up.
Oh, okay.
To make sure. Yeah, and so I think a lot of people that were there to watch this were fans of his. I got the impression just by the reaction. And he's really good. He's really good, and I was not familiar with him at all. If you are a big fan of his and want to watch him in a sex scene, you'll get to watch him in a sex scene. So that's something that appeals to you.
Okay, that's not what I was owing about. He was Tom. I knew I recognized the name. He was Thomas in the Maze Runner.
Oh, see, I didn't watch that either.
I knew I recognized the name, but I couldn't remember where it was. So I wasn't owing about the sex scene. I was owing about, that's where I know.
Okay, I was. Just to point out.
So yeah, that could be an incentive, an added bonus to it. But it also stars, and it was written and directed by him too, James Sweeney, who I also wasn't familiar with. And he's really good as well. And then it also has Lauren Graham, from Gilmore Girls and Parenthood and all that. So keep an eye out for that one because, like I said, it's an independent film and it'll get lost in the shuffle probably this time of year.
Right.
Even though, it's like, I don't think it'll be like anything in the conversation for Oscar talk, maybe Independent Spirit Awards, but probably not. So if you're looking for a dark comedy, I highly, highly recommend this one. So, and good performances. The only trigger warning I would give is there is some use of homophobic language. I don't want to say too much without because it will spoil a little tiny bit, but it's homophobic language towards one of the characters played by James Sweeney, Dennis. He is gay, and so it's a slur used towards him, not by Dylan O'Brien, because Dylan O'Brien becomes friends with him, and his character's brother, who died, was gay as well. So that's as much as I'm going to say. But I'm just telling you, if you can't, if you don't want to hear the F word, just know it is in here, but it's very brief. And yeah, so just to let you know that little trigger warning there. But yeah, I liked it. So, and like I said, if you are into Dylan O'Brien, there's a sex scene. And I think there's a couple other shirtless scenes or something. I just kind of got the feeling by some of the, to me, he seems way too young. Like, I look at him, I'm like, you still look like a baby. He was born in 1991. So I'm like, you still look way too young to me. But there were quite a few people in the audience that were very excited to see this man. So, so I know he has a big fan base. I think this might have been, and I should have looked further into it, one of the movies that when Sundance was going on, there were 2 movies that were leaked online. And because they were leaked online, they had to pull them from the festival, like from people being able to watch them. Not in the in-person screenings, but Sundance added a thing where you can watch remotely. And because of this, which was so crappy, they had to pull them. And I believe it was this one primarily because people wanted to watch the sex scene, honestly.
I don't know, but
I'm not even kidding. It's like,
but the movie's coming out. Like, you just gotta wait a little bit. Just patience.
I know.
People are impatient.
Exactly. And especially nowadays, people are like, I gotta be able to watch whatever I want to watch. So
yeah.
And I could be wrong. It could have been something else, but because I couldn't find it in the trivia on IMDb. But yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, we are gonna watch a trailer for a movie. And this trailer, oh my gosh, the reactions online to this trailer. So I'm forcing my panelists to watch it and react to it as well.
A little scared.
A little bit.
So we'll be right back.
Comcast is committed to bringing access to the internet to all Americans, including rural communities across the country, like Sussex County, Delaware.
We were being left behind. Everybody around us seemed to have internet, but we did not. High-speed internet is one of those good things that we needed to help us move our farming, our small businesses, our recreation forward.
Learn more about how we're bringing our next-generation network to more people across the country at ComcastCorporation.com/investment in America.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, so once again, check your show notes, pause us, and then, watch the trailer and then unpause. And we'll be back to give our reactions to Emerald Fennell's new movie, Wuthering Heights. Now, I never read this book. I don't know, did either of my panelists
I
read
haven't
it?
either.
Adrian,
No.
did you read?
I know nothing about it at all.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting.
Okay. No, I grew up watching a lot of classic movies. My mom was a huge fan of them. So, I remember, the Laurence Olivier version. Granted, that movie came out, 1939? And back when AMC was showing, black and white movies and not Breaking Bad, it was on all the time. So I'm like, oh, I have not seen, a Wuthering Heights thing since, I was a kid watching, AMC and, Turner Classic Movies. So, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing a modern take on this? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it. So, I'm, like I said, Sarah nailed it. I'm scared.
I'm really scared.
Okay, well then let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's play the trailer here. So let me share my screen. And like I said, people listening, pause right now and go watch the trailer. Or if you don't care about watching the trailer, you've already watched it, you can just keep playing this. But we'll be right back with our thoughts in about 2 seconds for you. Okay, so we've just watched the trailer. I'm trying to judge by the faces. So Adrian, your reaction, you're just like biting at the bit to watch this movie on Valentine's Day next year?
I don't want to say what did I just see because it's not that extreme, but again, I'm thinking about the 1939 movie and going, okay, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, I'm like, that there's no way that's Charlie XCX. And sure enough, it is. It's Charlie XCX with a Jersey Club beat on this, like, period piece. Like, okay, so we're doing Brat Summer in the Victorian era? Is that what's happening?
So you're going to go buy a ticket right away, right?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I need to see this. I was like, what did I just see? I don't know, but it's Margot Robbie. I love her to death, and she's magnificent. I don't know what this is. I'm kind of scared because I couldn't tell if it's sci-fi or are we doing like alternate, like, I don't know. I'm locked in. I'm all the way in because this is a great trailer because it's all of the I'm trying not to curse, but like,
you can curse. It's fine.
Okay. What the fuck did I just see? But like, I need to see more of it. So no, Erin, to answer your question, I am all the way in. I might have to like drag Ashley to like go see this on her end, and we might have to podcast about it because there's so much I have in my mind. But this show is not that long, so Sarah, please take it away because I'm mind blown.
I'm kind of with you. Like, what the fuck did I just watch? I've never read the book and did not see the 1939 film either, so I have no clue what this story is about. And after watching that trailer, I still have no clue what the story is about. And I mean, like Emerald, I loved Promising Young Woman, and this is just like so opposite of that.
Right.
Like, I will probably, because Margot Robbie is my girl crush. I just absolutely adore her. And, you know, when I found out she's like a total metalhead, I was like, yes.
Oh, she is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's
like
is?
A huge Slipknot fan. Yes. She's like huge metalhead.
Wow.
So that just like made me love her more because I'm like, yeah. But and the eggs and what was I don't know what was going on there. I'm so confused.
And was it like a pottery thing? Are we doing like Ghost? Is that what was happening with the hands at one point? Because I'm like,
don't mention Ghost around me. Like, just you mean the movie, not the
movie.
The movie, yeah, no. If they're on the soundtrack, then no, I'm getting 2 tickets. I'm going like every day. Like every day, I'm going at least once.
This is Emily Bronte, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was not what she envisioned. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, the fact that so many people in our Discord when I posted this had read this book in like junior high, I highly doubt that this is what
I don't think they read this in junior high. There's no way.
No. Because, I mean, yes, we did grow up reading, Flowers in the Attic, but that wasn't like
Stephen
a sign
King
to us. Like,
yeah.
So I highly doubt this is a faithful adaptation. I mean, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm going with no, it's not.
Well, and if you notice, there are quotation marks around Wuthering Heights. Like, Wuthering Heights. So people are speculating, what does that mean? Like, some people have speculated that Margot Robbie's character is reading the book and putting herself in the book. I don't know where they're getting this from. This is not like stuff that has been confirmed.
That's not a bad theory.
I mean, no, it's not. That was weird. It's just weird.
Did either of you see Saltburn? Emerald Fennell's movie following Promising Young Woman?
No, and I need to because Barry Keoghan is one of my mini crushes, and I kind of need to see it.
Okay, well then, Adrian, you really need to see it because you get an amazing scene at the end of the movie with him. So you really, really need to see it. I mean, it was talked about for a long time. And
how did I miss?
It's really him. It's really all him.
Thank you, Erin. I appreciate you so much, by the way. Thank you for the hookup. See, that's a friend right there.
You're welcome. I liked Saltburn a lot. I watched it actually with Moth. Moth and I, a frequent panelist, watched it together. And it is something it's a movie that not everybody's gonna like. It was very divisive because of certain scenes, like the bathtub scene with the bathwater. And anybody who's seen Saltburn knows what I'm saying. I'm not going to spoil it for my two panelists, and a couple other things. And of course, in that was also Jacob Elordi. I don't know what to think of this person. To me, I don't know. I watched Euphoria, the first couple seasons, talk about waiting for another season. And I have many issues with that show. And, he plays a total scumbag on that show. But I don't know. He doesn't do anything for me. I get it. I'm not saying he's not attractive, because he is an attractive man, an incredibly tall man. But he just doesn't, I don't know. He doesn't do much for me. But I love Margot Robbie. And I really like Emerald Fennell's other works. It's just, I will end up seeing this out of curiosity mainly. Mm-hmm. And because I actually really enjoyed Saltburn. And to me, this feels very much like Saltburn. I just wonder if she could have done this without it being an adaptation of a story. Because that's what people are taking issue with, is people who have read the book have watched this trailer and are outraged, especially with the casting of Heathcliff, which is Jacob Elordi's character. I guess in the book, which I haven't read, Heathcliff is not a white man, or it's alluded to that he's not, or something. And so people are very upset about that, which is incredibly understandable. Yeah. I mean, that is a reason to be upset. So I can't really speak to it, of course, because we haven't really seen it. So we don't know what's going on. But if that is the case, like if this is supposed to be like that story and not something else like people have come up with, then yeah, that would be very upsetting. But it already looks like it's not faithful to the novel.
Yeah, you said there were quotes.
Looks like maybe it's inspired by. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe there is a scene in Wuthering Heights where someone sticks their finger in a fish's mouth like that.
Like what?
What? I don't know. That is so bizarre.
What?
Maybe there's a Red Band trailer?
Well, I have read something.
Oh,
that
no.
describes what the opening scene of this movie is. And if this is true, holy crap. Oh my gosh. She likes to push the envelope when it comes to sex and sexuality, which I am all in favor. Mm-hmm. I never kink shame unless it's hurting someone, or, I don't know if I want to spoil it for both of you, but yeah, I don't know. Do you want to know what the opening scene is supposed to be?
Sure.
I'm in. You know what? Let's just go there.
Let's do it.
Okay, let me find. I took a screenshot of it because I was going to share it with everybody, and then I didn't. That's not that. Hopefully, I can find it. Otherwise, that's going to be really disappointing, and I would have just built this up and be like, no. Well, supposedly, and I'm paraphrasing here. It opens with the hanging of somebody, and when he's being hung, explicit sexual content here, everybody. He ejaculates on the crowd. And then a nun fondles him or something, or I don't know.
Okay, so is this like a BDSM type thing, or is this just these are two separate things that are happening? Because contextually it's like, okay, I didn't really. It's like a public performance thing, or is this just a straight up just?
I don't know, but the way it was described was that somebody was being hung, and for real, and they ejaculated right before they died, and all over the crowd watching. I don't know if this is real, everybody. I haven't, but this is what I've heard from test audiences watching the movie. Supposedly. Now,
I already said that I was going to get the ticket.
Has this just piqued your interest a little bit more?
If this is true, this
it's one of those things of I have this horrible habit, I have to, if that's true then, because the trailer already alluded to a few things that are okay, those quotes in the title are clearly a suggestion because I don't remember any of this stuff in the version I watched. So I had to just see it just the shock value of it all, just to see like, okay, what else am I doing?
No, I understand. Yeah. I mean, there are 2 scenes, well, 3, the ending scene in Saltburn, but there are 2 other scenes, the bathtub scene and then the vampire scene is how it's described. It doesn't have to do with vampires, but it's described as the vampire scene. When you see it, you'll know why. But if that's true, that kind of eclipses that. So it's like she's trying to push the envelope, which again, I have nothing against that. BDSM, I'm all for that if it is done in a correct way, which is so flippin' rare. We did a whole episode on that. You can go listen to that from a few years ago.
Yeah, remember that one.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I had to get our reactions to this one. I just had to because everybody's reacting to it. And it looks like we won't get all the, diehard fans of hers after us with our reactions to it. So I do want to see it. I am kind of like mixed on as far as like my anticipation of it being great, but we shall see. Because I did like Saltburn, loved Promising Young Woman.
Oh,
loved that so much.
Loved it.
And I liked Saltburn. Not as much as Promising Young Woman, but I liked it. So we'll see. Okay, well, thank you both.
Gonna be interesting.
Adrian has found. Adrian's like, this is what I'm doing on Valentine's Day. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about Amazon Prime and them deciding to follow suit with every other streaming platform and lots of things. So we'll be right back.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
Okay, so if you haven't heard, Amazon Prime is the latest streaming platform, although they're also doing this with their free shipping and everything like that, where they are going to crack down on password sharing. What they're doing is they want people to have a family group, but basically what that means is people in your household. Just like Netflix did, just like HBO Max wants to do, just like Hulu, just like all of them are going to end up doing. And so Adrian, all of these crackdowns that keep happening with all of these streamers and the fact that we also have to wait, like we've mentioned, forever for new content and the prices keep going up. Does this make you long for the days of cable?
Yes and no, but not in the way that sounds. I don't miss cable. I do not miss cable. I don't miss spending, over $100 for maybe 5 channels I watch. But also, I don't feel like streaming is the answer, at least not currently. It's just, I don't know what they're doing. And honestly, I don't think any of this is going to get them what they want, which is obviously more money. This is a zero-sum game where it's just, there's only going to be people who lose. We joked about the Stranger Things where they keep trying to stagger content to keep people from just hopping on a free trial, then just leaving. But ultimately, we're just going to be sailing the 7 seas, and I'll just leave it at that because you push people to the point where they have no other choice because, we like our shows, we like our movies, but, I don't want to have to struggle for this stuff. Really not. What I do miss is actual rental spaces that weren't super cost prohibitive. I don't need to own every movie, but it was nice to just be able to rent something, say I watched it, and then just go on about my day. But streaming is starting to feel like something of a pop culture hostage, situation. And I hope that's not too hyperbolic or too extreme of a statement, but I just feel like they're just sort of holding, a weapon to our heads and just forcing us to stay. But ultimately, this isn't going to work for them. None of this is.
Yeah, I agree completely. I don't think that's too extreme of a statement at all because I agree. So, Sarah, counterpoint? No.
Counterpoint. I really don't have one. Yeah. I mean, we had DirecTV for years and years and years and years and years. And the price just kept going up and going up and going up. And the only reason we had it is so my husband could watch NFL Sunday Ticket and he could see his Eagles games. Sorry, Adrian.
It's okay. We're cool.
But I mean, that was, and we were paying ridiculous amounts of money for it. And I mean, it sort of kind of crossed over where we had that. And then I also had subscription. We have Amazon Prime, and I had Disney Plus because of the Marvel and Star Wars content. So there, we were kind of crossing over. So when NFL Sunday Ticket went from DirecTV to YouTube TV, we ended up canceling it finally. And YouTube TV is a lot cheaper, but honestly, we don't watch it. It's a streaming service, but very, very rarely. I mean, now that network shows are starting to come back, I'll watch it a little bit more. But I mean, from like say May to October, we don't use it at all. I watch more of the streaming services. That being said, I feel like yes, I do miss cable. And I feel like a lot of the streaming services are kind of going back to that, where they're bundling themselves together. So you can get a subscription to HBO Max. It's HBO Max again, right? I don't know. They keep changing the name every 3 seconds, so I don't even know. Like HBO Max and Hulu and Disney Plus and ESPN, like you can get all that in one bundle. And then, there's like Showtime and Paramount, and they're almost like recreating cable.
They are.
Right.
So, we went to these individual streaming services, and now it seems like, with these media companies, they're all, merging, buying each other out. They're kind of going back to that, but still on a streaming platform as opposed to cable. And as for like the password crackdowns, I mean, how do you crack down on that? Because my youngest, Cameron, he's in college in Texas. This is still his legal residence, but if he wants to watch one of the streaming services that the family has, he's in Texas. He's still a member of this. I mean, how do you police that? I don't understand how they're going to do that. So, in a way, yes, it does kind of make me miss cable, but not really, because like Adrian was saying, you're paying this and you watch 5 channels. There's only a handful of them that you are interested in. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't think it's going to last long, because I think they're going to stick with streaming because that is what people want, to be able to watch whatever content they want from wherever they are, as long as they have Wi-Fi access. So I don't think they're necessarily going to go away from that, but I'm starting to see it kind of coming back to a cable-like platform, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know people who have gone back to cable.
Yeah.
Or at least added that, because they're like, well, it's pretty much the same cost. If I'm going to get every single one of these, it's like the same cost. And yet, it's becoming, the cost of it is what's becoming kind of prohibitive, I think, for people, because there were days when Hulu first came around, which I don't know if people remember this or even know it. Hulu was free. Yeah. And then Hulu was one of the cheapest ones around.
Yeah.
And then they became like all the others. Like, I always thought of Hulu as like this kind of rare find out there, because they were cheaper and they had pretty much everything you could find. And then that all kind of changed.
Yep.
Like they all do. They all change and grow and kind of absorb each other. I have to have them because of this podcast. If I didn't have to have them, I would definitely get rid of probably some of them. Some of them I think I watch Hulu all the time. Netflix can vary depending, but that used to be my go-to. And then Netflix has really pissed me off the past few years. But
oh my God.
And then
don't get me started.
Yeah. And then Apple TV Plus has some of the best shows out there, but they don't promote them. Same with Prime. Actually, Prime has good programming, but they never promote it. Not as good as Apple TV. And HBO Max, I'm glad they finally woke up and realized it was so stupid that we changed our name because nobody was calling us Max anyway. But I just think it's really kind of shitty, the whole password crackdown and the whole sharing crackdown. Because the way they do it, Sarah, is because they've done it already with so many, and I know this just from personal experience, but what they do is they know, like, they can tell the IP address and where it's being streamed from. So then what they do is they will say something pops up on the screen. I can't remember what I've heard it is. That basically doesn't let you do it unless you want to add to pay to have people do it, which Prime hasn't said yet they're doing that. But like, I know Netflix does that, and I believe Hulu does that. I don't know if HBO Max does, but because I don't know if they've completely rolled out their thing yet. Because Netflix was the first one to do this, and then everybody kind of jumped on it because honestly, Netflix did make money. Netflix made more money. The one plus was Prime, and I hesitate to give Amazon any kind of credit for anything, but the one plus they're doing is they're not raising prices, which usually, even though they just did and then put in commercials, but usually when they introduce this, then they end up raising prices as well. So they'll be like, you can't share, but we're going to raise the prices. So we're going to make it even worse. And at least so far, they haven't done that. I'm sure they will because it's Amazon. So yeah, I mean, it's just crappy. I don't think streaming is going to go away. I do think streaming has harmed the industry in ways that we don't even know completely yet. It has kind of destroyed a lot of things. It's made it harder for people to get work. It's just it's destroyed the way we consume things. I think it's helped destroy film etiquette. I think it's part of the reason that when you go to a movie theater now, this is why I only go to the Alamo, I think it's part of the reason why you have people taking their phones out, why you have people talking more, why it becomes so incredibly frustrating to go to a movie theater because of the etiquette, the theater etiquette that's lacking. And I honestly believe part of it is streaming because it's just kind of like people forget that they are in a public place with other people and they're not in their living room. And people don't know how to behave anymore. And streaming also has ruined releases of movies because now a movie is in a theater for like very little time before it's available on streaming. And that's really crappy and it's helping to ruin movie theaters. So, you know, I mean, I hate saying this because I really hope it's not true. And if it's not true, you can thank horror for saving movie theaters, everybody. But I really think we could see a time in the next decade where we don't have movie theaters anymore or where it's just a rarity, which would break my heart.
Yeah.
But it's just hard. It's just too hard because of streaming. They need to get together and set boundaries, which is not at all what the question was. I understand. But it's just, I struggle with it because when streaming first came around, I loved it. And then like everything else, capitalism ruins everything. And so just like everything else, it got ruined by capitalism.
Yep.
You know, because it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still stream stuff for free on Tubi. You do get commercials, but you can stream stuff for free there. Pluto, commercials as well. Shudder did recently raise their prices, which was the first time they've raised prices since they existed. So I know people were upset about that. I still love Shudder, though. I think it's for horror fans. It's like a must-have. And it's still like it's just under $10. Now it's $9.99 a month. It used to be $6.99 a month. So yeah. But we will definitely be talking about this some more because it'll be interesting to watch. I don't think streaming is ever going away, though, or at least not in our lifetime. But of course, it's hard to predict anything right now in the world.
Yes, seriously.
Because other things could make it go away or make it change. And, you know, the FCC, which, you know, is a whole other ball game that we'll talk about more extensively at some point. We've mentioned it a little bit. So we will definitely return to this topic. But now a message from our sponsors, Amazon Prime. The funny thing is because we don't choose the ads, everybody, unless it's something that I've read, like I had a Factor ad once I was reading, but We don't choose them. So the funny thing is, one day I was criticizing Disney Plus for something. And I remember I was listening back to the episode because sometimes I listen to them while I cringe listening to myself. And the ad that came on right after I was criticizing Disney Plus was an ad for Disney Plus. So it could happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Oh, that's funny.
And I laughed so
That's
hard.
beautiful.
Thank you, Adrian and Sarah, for joining me
You're very welcome.
for this episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. And I'm glad we were able to provide everybody with their Valentine viewing entertainment. And I really, really want both of you, especially you, Adrian, because you've got a crush on Barry Keoghan. I really, really need you to watch Saltburn because
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of intrigued now, too.
I'm so tempted to just find the video of the last few minutes, but I'm like, no, that'll ruin the whole movie.
No.
But yeah, you both need to go watch it, and then I can hear your reactions to the vampire scene, the bathtub scene in the last couple minutes. So you'll know what the vampire scene is, trust me.
Okay.
And
All
you'll
right.
know what the bathtub scene is.
Alrighty. I assume because they'll be in a bathtub.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, yeah, nothing. Wow, you're good at this.
Yeah. She's very good at keeping spoilers.
Yeah, don't ask Moss to spoil it for you.
No, I
man.
won't. I know they won't.
Yeah. But thank you both. And we're going to go ahead and close out. And both of you can say where you can be found. And Adrian, tell everybody about Talking Like a Teen podcast and where it can be found.
Talking Like a Teen podcast was one that was heavily inspired by my mutual love of Tegan and Sarah with my best friend, Ashley. We've been doing that since 2019. And what started of us being like, hey, we really love Tegan and Sarah, it then became the celebration of pop culture we loved in our formative years, even stuff currently. And basically, we were really good friends before that, but since doing it and then diving deeper into all the stuff that we've grown to love over the years, it's now we've just become best friends. And it's just a really cool celebration of our friendship, music, movies. And it just proceeds to get weirder and weirder. And I think I love that because we get to just exist in this nice little space where we can just enjoy all the stuff we're into and pretty much just be as odd as humanly possible. But you can find that at tlatpodcast.com. And we're also on Blue Sky and Instagram at those same handles, the TLAT Podcast.
Thank you. Awesome. Yes, please go check it out. Thank you. And I don't just say that because they gave me a shout out on a recent episode. But yes, please go listen to them. And Sarah, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram at NateCamMom. That is NateCammom. Or I have actually been a little bit more active on TikTok lately between my sourdough creations and weird orbs floating around my basement and Halloween related things. And that would be at Sarah A. Barnick, SaraABarnaik.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes. And one day, Sarah's sourdough baking company will take off where she will be able to get that thing done where she can ship to other places outside of Colorado.
Yeah, gotta figure that out. Gotta figure that one out.
Hopefully it happens soon because it's really, her sourdough bread is really good. So,
well, thank you.
You're welcome. And, Halloween is coming, and who loves spooky season the most, other than me, is Fergie the dog. She loves horror movies. She watched Saltburn. I think she was a little too young to watch Saltburn, but she watched Saltburn. But she does love watching
poor Fergie.
but she loves to watch people get murdered and slashed and everything in horror movies. So hey, she really, really does. This is not even. It's so funny. She really does. She also loves watching plastic surgery scenes in Nip Tuck. When I had to watch that for the show, she was like this during the plastic surgery scenes. So I don't know if that should be something that I fear or embrace. But she also likes Abbott Elementary, so she sprinkles a little bit of comedy in there, and she loves true crime.
Of course.
And you can follow her on TikTok, and there's quite a few videos on there of her watching horror movies, true crime, and Abbott Elementary, although that might have just been on our podcast TikTok. But you can follow her at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. And to find all our back catalog, to find links to all our social media, links to our Discord, links to our Patreon, where you can, for as little as $3 a month, you get bonus content, you get ad-free episodes, so you wouldn't have to hear an Amazon Prime ad. You get bonus content, like we will be releasing a special episode featuring Sarah and Tanya talking about the show Severance, spoiler-filled, so keep that in mind. And then also, speaking of the Emmys, we released an episode diving into season 4 of The Bear. Once again, spoiler-filled. That was so much fun. And then also, coming up in October is our horror trivia month, and our Patreon supporters can win prizes, and you don't have to know anything about trivia. All you do is you pick your players, and you get their points. Yeah, I mean, hello, how easy is that? And then you could potentially win some great prizes. We have some great prizes that are being donated to us, and then we'll also have other ones that we choose. So go to our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. To find our Patreon page, go to the Support Us tab. You can also click the link in the show notes. And on Friday's episode, Adrian and Sarah will be back to discuss the band Soundgarden. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and free Palestine.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.